Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new live session of Customily. We're going to get started in a couple of minutes. Okay, let's start this live session with the basics. What is Customily? Well, most of you installed the app quite recently and are either getting started with your store from scratch or beginning the process of selling personalizable products on an existing store. For both cases, we have the perfect tools to get started. So, Customily is an app that provides your store with live previews of products, along with options that your customers can interact with, changing those live previews with every interaction. For example, in this particular product, we have our listing photo, but notice we have options here. And when we ask customers interact with these options, for example, typing something, you will see that the live preview changes right with your content, giving you a realistic example of how the product will look in the end. And that's all provided by Customily. Now, from text typing, like this case, to clipboard selection or even image upload, you will see the preview change and you will get a realistic idea of how the product will look in the end. But not only that, Customily will also take this information and create a ready-to-print file. So imagine how you will have to do this on the past. Basically, you would provide a product, customers would buy the product, you will contact the customer and start the back and forth emails with proofs so your customer will get finally an idea of what the product will look, and you will grab that information and create the print file and fulfill. Now, Customily has synthesized and compressed everything that you have been doing so far manually and put it all together in a single process. So now your customers will customize, they will input their information that they want on their own. They will see the proof right there. And once they purchase, you as a merchant get the print file ready to fulfill. So it's saving you a lot of time and giving you an amazing customer experience on the both your side as the merchant that has to fulfill really quick, and your customers who will be able to play around and customize with the options anytime they want and get to see the live preview right there. Now, for example, I have another product to give you, and in this case, we can type in also a family name or your personal name or anything, and you get to see the preview change right there. Not only on one product, but actually 4, 5, or unlimited products you see here. So this is all done by Customily. And how does this work? Well, this preview is done by loading a template on the page, as well as the options. And these two elements, the template and the options, are created in Customily. So if you follow the steps of creating templates from scratch, you will actually be able to create the options automatically. You don't have to do this manually. And then connect both elements to any of your existing products. As simple as that. So if I were to have this product already on my store and I created the template and the options in Customily, I could connect them and transform this simple cheese cutters product into a customizable and live previewing product for my customers to type in what they want, preview, purchase, and I would be ready to fulfill that product. Now, this is something I have been mentioning about the template and the options, and I said that you can connect to an existing product. But what about new products? And for that, I want to show you Customily 2.0. Now, what is Customily 2.0? This is our latest update for Shopify stores. This will allow you to create and publish personalized products easier, faster, and better than before. So those starting your stores from scratch will have more interest in this section because now you can choose a product directly from a print-on-demand supplier. You can add a design to it and get it published in your Shopify store, all from the Customily app. So also with the print-on-demand services that have an API connection, all the fulfillment processes will be automated, and this means that once you receive a purchase, all the order details and a ready-to-print file will be sent to the corresponding POD provider automatically, so they can do the fulfillment and shipping. And another interesting feature for Shopify users is the free access to the Customily Designs library. This means that now you can find designs ready to use and sell, or you can actually use this exclusive clipart and create your own designs. So to summarize, we can say that we have 4 different paths you can explore with Customily 2.0. Always thinking about creating brand new products, you can work with a print-on-demand provider who has its own product catalog and add a design from Customily's library to it. This is the fastest path and the one that allows you to have published products ready to sell in a few clicks. You can also work with a print-on-demand provider, but choose to add your own designs to their products. In this case, you will have to populate your design library before being able to publish products in your store. Now, on the other hand, if you have your own products and you're not interested in working with a print-on-demand provider, the way to go is to start by populating your product-based library first. And after you have your own product mockups, you can choose to add a design from Customily's library to them and create and publish those products. Or you can, of course, add your own designs to your own products. This is the path that involves more time, but once you have all your product mockups and all your designs set up, it's going to be just a mix and match game, and you'll be able to create your products really fast. Okay, so now that we have the different alternatives clear and we know that we can create templates and connect it to existing products, as well as create the product itself using pre-made information, which in the end will create, of course, templates. But these 2 ways of approaching Customily are really important in the way you will use the app in the future. So imagine I'm a Shopify store owner and I want to start selling personalized products. So I just installed Customily to try it out. Here we are in the main menu of Customily. And when you install for the first time and you go into Customily, you will get an onboarding message. And that onboarding will ask you a couple of questions that are key and really important because your answers will personalize the onboarding experience and the tutorial that will be triggered. Basically, it's important that you know if you're going to be using products from a POD provider or your own products, if you're going to be using Customily designs or our own designs, your own designs. And by answering those questions, you will be shown the best path to get started. So there are many ways to approach Customily, and knowing that from the beginning will be a lot easier for you to start off. But in any case, this is the main page, and on the left bar here, you will see 6 sections. The first 3 sections are shortcuts to the 2.0 tools. Basically, here you'll be able to create new products. The other 3 sections are the main core of Customily. You can explore, manage, and create your templates in this section. You can upload, organize, and arrange your assets in libraries. For example, color libraries, font libraries, vectors, and image libraries. And in the store section, you can see all your connected products, as well as change many settings that will help you customize the front end experience of your customers. We have a new section, section number 7, I guess, that is called the orders, and we'll be covering this in future live sessions as we are developing this new tool for our customers. But as you can see, Customily keeps growing and keeps adding more features, so it's always important to keep up with our latest updates. Now, if you want to explore these 3 sections, this will give you a full scope and access to everything that is Customily. Okay, but we're going to start today by creating the products we saw earlier. We saw this kitchen canvas, okay, and we also saw these cheese cutters. And the idea is to actually set up a new design of our own and connect that design to POD product, in this case, a custom cut canvas. Basically, by picking a product from a POD and our own design, we will be creating a new product and everything will be working right there on the front end. So let's get started with this. If we go to the Start section, you will have access to creating a new product. When you click here, the PODs that are currently connected to Customily will show up. You are able to integrate with any of them. If you have accounts with them, all you need to do is get the API key from any of these print-on-demand providers that have API key and input that in Customily. That will integrate them into your account and allow for automatic fulfillment, which is really, really handy and time saver when you're managing a lot of orders. Of course, you can always work on your products, and that's something else you can see here. You can see that you can start managing your designs as well as your product bases. So if you're not working with print-on-demand providers, you can create your product bases. And as always, you can always pick your designs or even Customily designs. Now, before I'm going to get asked this, I'm going to cover this small explanation because it's very common that you ask about that, is how do I integrate these print-on-demand providers? Well, while here on the Start page, you should go to Settings at the top here, and you will see 5 tabs. You go to the Integrations tab, and now here you can manage your actual integration. You don't have to integrate everything, just whatever PODs you're using right now and the ones you have an account. You can come to the drop-down menu, select your desired print-on-demand provider, and click on Enable Integration. That will show here the field to enter the API key, in this case from Custom Cut. Where do I find this API key? Well, you can learn how to do that if you click on this link that will take you to our Help Center article. This article has index with all print-on-demand providers, and by following these really nice and clear instructions, you'll be able to retrieve the API key, copy that, paste it here, and once you paste that, the key will be validated and you can save the settings. It will turn green, and now you will have Custom Cut, for example, integrated in your Customily account. You can still see the products and you can still create products using their catalog, but the API integration will guarantee your automatic fulfillment later. Okay, now that we have Custom Cut integrated, let's click on the Start menu again, and let's create a brand new product. I'm going to pick Custom Cut, like I said, and I'm going to look for a canvas, not just any canvas. You see, there's a lot of products from the Custom Cut catalog. In case you don't see the product you want, you can request that to our team. We keep updating this with feedback from customers and from the print-on-demand providers. And if I were to pick, for example, this landscape canvas, I get to see how many variants this product offers. In this case, there's only one color variant, but there are 5 sizes. I'm going to pick just one size, but you can pick as many as you want. And when you click next, it will take you to picking your design, which design you want to use in your new product. And you can actually go and pick from your designs. Imagine we have no designs yet, or you can click here and pick from our Customily designs. And check out this. We have over 200 custom designs that you can pick. You can later modify. You can grab the characters or grab the pets or or change the backgrounds and the quotes. These are free to use in any way you want. We have a search bar here as well as categories. You see, we don't only have characters or animals. We have seasonal events, times of the year, special days, special products, special occasions. There's a lot of things you can play around with in these designs. It's a great way to get started. And we have a lot of live sessions that we cover this on how to create them, how to modify them. But today I want to create my own kitchen canvas, and my own design. So I'm going to create a new design. What do I do from here? I'm going to stop this process and go back to the beginning. In the beginning, instead of creating a new product, I'm going to create a new design here. And now I'm taking to our design studio. I'm going to name this, for example, live session kitchen sign. Create, right? And so I start off always with a big square canvas. And inside here, I can start putting things that I want for my design. It's always very important to have at least an idea or a clear idea of what do you want to offer as design as customization. If you check, we did a special live session about how to use Canva, which is a really handy tool. Of course, you can use any design software to create your backgrounds and your ideas, but basically it's nice that if you have a full design, you should be able to retrieve only the background or only the, for example, the custom text and stuff like that. In this particular case, I want to do this. I want to create this design, and I will have a specific background with some fixed elements like the kitchen sign, the elements, and the phrases. And I will probably be customizing the name of the family and the year. So what I will need to do in my design is to be able to put in Customily the background without the customizable elements. Why? Because in our design studio, you will see that we have a lot of tools to add customizable elements. For example, text boxes, meaning that customers will be able to type in whatever they want. Okay, or curved text is the same. Placeholders, images, or vector are elements that will allow your customers to upload their own images. So think about any portrait product that you want them to upload their images, make a collage, or whatever. This is the right tool, the placeholders. Then we have the chance to add street maps and star maps that your customers will be able to find their own locations, change the styles, input any kind of quote or text. These are really nice tools to customize content. And also we have the dynamic elements, vectors and images. Notice the difference between the icons. In this icon, in the placeholder, you have only one picture, meaning that you can upload one file. Now, in the dynamic image element, you have 4 icons. This is just a quick memory refreshing that you can actually put any file on your computer, anything that you have created as a designer, as a merchant, and you want this to be part of your design. So any background, any choice, for example, when you're choosing different colors or different backgrounds or even hairstyles or skin colors and stuff like that, you put everything into this object so customers can choose, or at least they can see. So I'm going to create a dynamic element, a dynamic image, and put my background. I'm going to upload images here. And I'm going to find that I actually have a couple of products, a couple of images. This is my inspiration. This is my sample. And I actually have a base. I have two bases. I have a common base and I have a base with a bleed because this is a wraparound canvas. So this is my base file. Yeah, you see, I removed the customizable elements, basically the name of the family and the year. So I'm going to pick this and it's showing up there. Since I know for a fact that I'm going to be selling a particular size and a particular type of product, I can actually customize my canvas and my proportions to fit the product. Okay, so I can click here on the resize button and we'll change my units and input, for example, 26 by 18. Now I have a rectangular landscape proportion and I can grab my background object, click on the transform tab here to better manage the coordinates and the sizes. In this case, I can grab this exact size and replicate that. Okay. If I want this to be centered, I can click here on the alignment tools and center vertical and horizontal. Yeah, so now I have this layer that I'm going to rename as background and put it really on the background. And then I have my text element like this. My text element can change any way I want, like this. And I can type something that I can actually think about what the customer will do, like something like that. I don't like the font, so I'm going to change that. I can open the character tab and I can pick from my font. Usually you start off with a few fonts, but you can add more fonts by clicking here. So I'm going to pick font, for example, no, actually I like better this one, yeah. And this is really small, so what I have to do is I have to play with the sizes. Basically, you have a minimum size and a maximum size. The minimum is how small it will be if you keep typing and typing. That's too small. This is how big it will look. This is also too small. So let's play around with this. Let's keep making it bigger, 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 bigger until we are around, well, something mostly big. At some point, I'm going to reach the top size of the box. In this case, the top size of the box is 232, it says here. But I can cover in case I have fewer letters. Yeah, and if I keep typing, I should be able to go to a minimum size that is printable and nice looking, like this. Yeah, so if I go to something smaller, you see the size is bigger. So this is my sign. This is my first customizable text. This is going to be called the family name. And I can actually open the color tab and I can pick something that is more into the color palette of the background. That's one text. The other text that I'm going to create is the date, the year actually. So I'm going to rename this year. Yeah. Let's type something to guide ourselves. But I'm going to probably change this because, well, it's looking pretty small, pretty unfamiliar with the, and not that exact to the sample I have here. Okay. So let's change this to, let's open character again, change this to another font. You see, it's always faster when you have a clear idea of what you want to create. Let's make this bigger. I don't know, 85. Yeah. maybe let's fix this. If I set the minimum and the maximum size to be the same, I will fix the size for good. That will not change and will not shrink. And this is kind of tied together, and the style seems to be a bit separated. So I can play around with the tracking here and go with something, I don't know. Okay, that's one idea. And yeah, that looks better. So now I have this. I need to actually change my color, probably to the same color. So I can come here, copy my code, and put it in the other one. And if I align this a bit, I should be able to move that. So let's change this to, I don't know, 300, 400, 6. Okay, yeah. So something like that will look really nice. This is my design. I have a background, I have a customizable text for the family, a customizable text for the year, and that's all I need for my canvas. I can add more things. I can make this way more complicated. We're getting started, so we know for a fact that this is the very beginning of our design. So I'm going to save this, and Customily not only saved the design on the graphic part, it also created the options. Options, as you recall, is this interactive part for your customers. So it's grabbing the layer information and the name and what kind of product it is, what kind of object and element we are talking about. If there's a text element, then it's going to have a text field. And if there are color options or image options, it will create swatches. So I can double check here. If I go here in the My Designs area, I'll be able to find my design, click on Edit Options, or rename this, edit the design, or edit the options. And I will see I have actually two options. A text input for the family name that I can personalize a bit more if I want, and another text input for the year. Now, let's customize this a bit more. You see, I have a lot of things that I can play with, but I'm actually interested in making sure this has a maximum length of 4 characters. And I can restrict this to only numbers and no spaces, so customers cannot type anything other than that. It's a great way to avoid errors, typos, and stuff. I save this, and I'm all set. So if you recall, the steps to create a new product were to come to the Start menu, create a new product, pick from the POD and their catalog, and find the product that we wanted to use. In this case, this landscape canvas. Then I'm going to pick the size that I want to use. Remember, you can pick many sizes, and the design you created will adapt. Okay, it will not shrink or deform, but it's going to fit into whatever size you have. It's always better to keep an eye on proportions, but usually that fitting is pretty nice because proportions usually kind of carry on just getting bigger and bigger. Once I have the variants selected, I click Next, and instead of Customary Designs, let's go and pick from your designs. Let's go to the last page and find our newest design. Once I click the design, Customily starts to work. And you sit back for a couple of minutes in which Customily will do all the work for you. It's going to create a new product in Shopify. It's going to connect that product through API to CustomCut. CustomCut will send the information about the print area of the canvas, the mockup of the canvas, and everything. And Customily will grab that information, grab your design information, and put things together. It will create the design on the print area and the design on the mockup. Those two things are the template. The template is the main, remember, is the main file of Customily, the core element of Customily, and it has the print information and the preview information. We're going to see how that is. But now you see how the preview shaped it up. This is a final revision, and you can, for example, do some adjustments. And this is really nice because there are many shortcuts to save you time. For example, we can change the name. So you can click on Edit Product Details, change the name of the product like Live Session Kitchen Canvas, and set a price to this, for example, and save this. You can change the description as well and save those settings. This will update on Shopify, but you can change that also on Shopify. This is the preview that your customers will see, so you can actually type in whatever you want. You see how everything is live changing, and you can see that, well, okay, I like this example, so what I can do is, yeah, I like that better, more realistic, more sincere. And I'm going to save this to be my new listing photo. Why? Basically because we don't want an empty product photo on our listing page. We want this to have already a customization so it's attractive and gives the customers a great idea of what your product can do. You can even actually add later more images. This is always going to be a Shopify product that you can add more images, change the tags, set up a lot of collections and information and sales channel. We are just basically creating the product with the customization connected. And now that we have this ready to go, we can click on Publish to make it active and go to your store, or save it as a draft so the product will be a draft in your store. Let's click Publish. Check out this warning. I show you that I wanted to connect and integrate the API key from CustomCut. I didn't actually do that, so it didn't save. And the system is warning me that I don't have the API key of CustomCut, meaning that I don't have the automatic fulfillment yet. So I can follow this or follow the settings path and add the API key. This is very important to remind you that if you're creating a product using a POD, it's better to have the automatic fulfillment. If you want more mockups, thank you for that question. You can, well, this is the live product. There you go. There's only 2 variants and everything. And I can type something like Smiths and 220. If I want this to be also another mockup, all I have to do is click on the preview button, preview this really nice, and save this image to be, for example, our, let's say, listing 2. Yeah. Now I have this image saved, and you see I can keep changing this and creating like long names, short names, different examples and stuff like that, and populate my gallery. As simple as that. I could go to Shopify, and I will find, if I go through the created, newest first, check out this. I have a new product on my store, the Live Session Kitchen Canvas. I have the description and everything that I created so far, and I could add my second image, just as simple as that. You can populate this a lot. Customily will always create and load a preview so your customers can better see what they're doing, but nothing stops you from showing a lot of examples and context information, everything that you feel will look amazing on your store. On the back end of Customily, we can go to templates, and we can find that Customily created the new template loading on your front end, which is this one, the landscape canvas, live session, kitchen site. If I edit this, which you can, and you can change anything about this, you will see that Your design is now fitting on the print area of the product with all the elements that you created. If you later want to modify stuff, you can always lock the background so it doesn't move around and do stuff like that. But in this case, we don't want to change anything, so let's undo. Yeah. We want to go to the next step. Remember, the template has two steps, the print and the preview. The preview has been made with information from the POD, in this case, the product. That's the background image. So basically, if I hide all the elements about my design, I will see the product. Not only the product, but I will see a mask. The mask gives you a nice effect of the fabric, of the wrinkles, of the texture. Those kind of things come with certain products, but it will give your product the realistic. And you see, remember, this is wrapping around, so this will give you a realistic presentation of your design. Keep in mind that the preview looks amazing when you work around this kind of details. When you're click done, you unselect and you click next. You can, any change you made, you may want to save it on your template, but basically this is like the final picture of your template. A print file, a production file, and a preview. This is what your customer will see, and this is what you will receive to print. And whatever they type will be reflected on both ends. So whatever the customer types, they will get to see that, and you will get to render this to print. That's the essence of the template and how Customily works. Okay, so for example, let's say this cheese cutters, okay, this is a product that I have, or in fact, I'm going to create this product, yeah? So let me go to my store, let me go to products here, and let's add a new product. I'm going to add a new product called the live session cheese cutters. Cheese cutter set. Yeah, let's be more precise. Description, yeah, let's go with the same. Sales channel, perfect. Okay, so far, and let's put this on the home decor, something to, let's present this to be like a really exact product. Put a price on this, okay? Set an stock like that, a weight if we want, and some media. Let's say, for example, that I have been selling this for some time, but it was really complicated to send information to the engraver and stuff. So I do have an image. Yeah, I have this image, but now I want the customers to actually modify this any way they want and see that live on the store. What do I need? Well, basically, I need this same image without any kind of information, like a blank image of the product, like this. It's very important to have this information. Also, I need to know the size of the print area. For example, let's say that this the area in which you can engrave something on these handles is 5 by 2 centimeters. So let's save this product. Okay, we have a new product created, and if we go to Customily, there's a section here called products. You can come here directly from the start, click on products, or go to store. Remember, store is the area of Customily in which you manage all your products. Those that you created using POD information, or those that exist on Customily right now. In fact, you can filter those by connected to Customily or not. Let's find the live session. I'm trying to browse through page by page so you can see how everything is looking. If you don't find your product, click on sync, because if it was just created, it may not be cached yet. Let's go to live session a lot of live session products, and find the cheese cutter set 4 pieces. You see, there's no connection to Customily. This is a simple product in my store. If I click here, I will open some settings and I can connect a new template to this product. Basically, when I connect a template, I create the options automatically, I save it, and now I have a live customizable product on my store. It's as simple as that. Now, the complicated part will be the template, right? So let's keep this open and let's open another tab to see how we can create a template. For that, we skip the first sections, which are to create new products, and go to templates. We have seen this area because we managed the last templates we created, the landscape stuff. We edited this to see how it was built, but I have this option to create a new template. Templates have 2 parts, the print part and the preview part. Let's call this the live session cheese engraving. Remember that we said, our manufacturer said, okay, you have an area of 5 by 2 centimeters to print. That's all I give you. Okay, create. This is my print area. What I can do, of course, is I'm going to offer a text engraving. So I just click on the text box and I have this text. This is really small, but I can click on transform and make it bigger. I can set a lot of fonts or just one font. Let's type something like, always type something to check out how it looks, okay? And if I wanted to add a font, all I have to do is select a font here. But what if I add many fonts? In this example, I only have one font, but I'm going to make it a bit interesting and add more fonts. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on libraries. I'm going to open libraries on another tab. And check out this. I have color, fonts, vectors, and image libraries. If I go to font libraries, I'm able to create a new font. So I'm going to click on add library. Set this to be wood fonts. Yeah. Like I said, you can add fonts from your computer. You can add fonts to this library from your actual database in Customily. In my case, I'm going to add fonts directly from the database. So, or maybe I can see to upload a font first and check out. Sorry, yeah. Okay, I uploaded a font, this Amiten font, but I'm going to start with, for example, Adorabel. That's my first font. Okay, the second font I'm going to add to the list is the one I uploaded, Amiten. So yeah, this one. Create the font in my library. Then let's go with okay, H2. Okay, I have a script. I like this one. Okay. Then I'm going to add some other more. So, for example, ink free. Then let's go with only one. And the final the one that I use for the example is the satisfaction font. Since fonts are pretty complex files, usually we pick this like my font 1, 2, and 3, but you can change this, okay? And this will later reflect on the front end. I'm going to change just 1, and then you can change the others. But now that I have my font library ready, I can navigate out of this, go back to my new template, and pick that library here. When I pick the library, I can no longer choose libraries, but fonts, but I can preview the ones that are inside the library. And I can play around with the sizes. In this case, let's limit this to 20 and 30 and see how this looks on every font. Okay, so the biggest fonts should be this one. Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. Let's put this, I don't know, just in case, make it just like 10 in size so people can actually customize something really small. Not the idea, but trying to cover as many scenarios as possible. You can always test things with long names and stuff and see what happens. So this is my print, correct? And this is going to be the family name field. That's all I need. I'm going to print this on my product. In fact, I'm going to print this on a PDF file in RGB mode or CMYK. That depends on your fulfillment. But you can change the format in a lot of ways. When I click next, I jump to the second part. The second part is the preview. So the preview basically needs, like I said, a background image or a background color if you have many images of the product. In this case, the blank product. Why? Because we want to present our text in front, on top of the product. Check out this. Apparently, we have 4 products, yeah, and we want to engrave the same thing, the same message on the 4 of them. But we are printing just one text, right? Because that's all we need. We need to print. We need the information of one text that will be replicated 4 times. But in order to present this nicely in Customily, there's a trick that we can do. Let's go back one step and go again to the print file. And what we can do is make a clone of our family name. In fact, 4 free clones. Why do we need free clones? Because when I type something here, all of them change at the same time. Of course, we don't need to see all of this. So what I have to do is I'm going to pick all of them and align them together and to the print area. And I'm going to just hide whatever I don't need to print. I'm going to print 1, but I need 4 of them on the preview. Okay. And on the preview, again, let's pick the background image. Now I have all of these 4. So I can grab one, let's say, for example, this, to have something to test. I'm going to grab all of them so I can change them all at the same time. Rearrange. Whatever you change on the preview will not affect the print because this is just repositioning and arranging while you're printing. Okay, so I'm going to pick this one here, and I could actually adjust this just a bit. Come here and put this here with a small adjustment, and the same goes with this. And right now I have a nice look preview of the products. Want to make this even nicer? Yes. Let's go to color and pick a color that is related to the wood you're printing. Yeah, but if we want to actually make it even more realistic, give a texture just for the preview. And now we are talking. If we want to keep the same color, just copy the code here, add the texture. And that's it. Always pick just one and change this and see all of them change over the product. You want to double check what you're doing when you click next and you're ready to save. And oh, before that, the reason why this is changing all together and not separated is because they share the same ID. This is very important to keep in mind because if this was ID number 2, it will type something different. But right now, everything is on the same ID, so they all behave like the father. And then we're going to click next. Sorry, there's a question here. Let me read that. If you want the customer to change the text color, you can do that the same way as I added font option or a font library, you can add several colors, either one by one or by library. And let me show you why that's the easiest way to go. Just a final revision here. You see how you print one and you preview four. Print in black, that's what the printer needs, and preview on wool style. So once we save this, and I'm still picking up on the last question, you're taken straight, yeah, you can go straight to connect this to a Shopify product or create more templates. I'm going to connect this to a Shopify. I'm taking to some place familiar, basically our store manager. We have the store manager open here. Remember, this is our live session cheese cutter. And now I could actually choose the template I just created. Probably find that on the last page. There you go. When I pick the template, Customily offers me the chance to create the options for me, saving me a lot of time. And I click yes. You can click no, but because I don't have any options, basically what I do is set yes. If I have many font options, Customily will create the font swatches. If I have many color options, the system will create the color swatches as well. So adding a library of colors or a library of fonts, then the system will identify those choices and create that for you. Let's save that. And you can click on the eye icon to preview your new product. It's the same product I had before, the one that I created, but check out this. Now I'm loading options. Actually, I'm loading a lot of options. Don't get scared. We can simplify that. But basically, I have the family name, okay? And I have the font swatches. Imagine these are color swatches and you can change the colors. So I can type here. You see, when you change the name, it shows the name of the font, but it's changing the fonts any way I want and previewing this live. How do I get rid of all these extra options? Basically, well, you created clones and clones have options, so they are kind of repeated. But don't worry, if you go back to the product setting, you can actually open the options set. It's the group of options here. Click on the name. And you recognize this from our previous design, but I need to delete everything that says cloned. Why? Because I just need one. The others will copy. So delete, delete. And careful, you don't want to delete the font swatch. You want to delete the cloned font swatches. Yeah, super simple now. And you don't have to reconnect anything. All you have to do is come back to your product, refresh. Now this looks far clearer. And everything still works. Everything looks nice. We can preview a lot. Give this up, and in fact, you can save this image and go back to Shopify, add more examples. Always be able to shape up and boost up your listings any way you want. Customily does the basics, and you can even have these images of the product on a context, on a how you call this, the like everyday situation stuff. You can have all those images, and when you start customizing, the front image will show up so you can see the customization right there. Some may want to show the customization on many point of view and images, but to be fair, all you need to do is to have a nice example or set of examples of the product and customize on the most clear view. That's all your customers will need, actually. They don't need to see the customization on several points of view or context. They need to see clear what they're doing, and the rest is information about the product. Okay, I hope that answers the last question, and we're going to do a quick Q&A if we have some other questions. There's a lot of live sessions. In fact, this is our live session number 30. And you'll be able to check back and see that we have a lot of examples on how to add text, how to add colors, and the swatches will be created. You can even go deep into customization and change these swatches to some other image that you like. These are done by default for Customily, but you can um, change these swatches to something you like better. There's always a lot of chances to customize anything about the interface. The idea is to give your customers a nice flow, easy flow, and make sure they customize and preview within the minute. They are happy and they add to cart, basically. Well, I really hope you have now a better understanding of how the app works and what you can potentially do. We always try to challenge the system with different products and ideas, and also challenge you to come up with great ideas and to put them into work in Customily. You know that there are some basic steps you need to take before getting those assets and images and graphics to start with. But once you have that information, going into Customily is way easier and faster. Just in case you have any questions, remember we have a great support team. You can contact them at support@customily.com. You can also open a live chat in the app. We have a live chat working right now in office hours EST. And it's also a great idea to join our Facebook communities because there's a lot of people sharing information, helping out, asking questions, commenting live sessions. So it's great to pay attention to these communities because they're really active and people share a lot about Customily. Well, that's all for today. I hope you had a great time. It's the end of July, so I will see you next month with new live sessions to get together and create more products. Have a great weekend.